So, what I want people to do now, all you've got to do, hands underneath bums. All I want you to do is pay attention for this next little bit because this will help you. I'm recording this, so we'll be able to go back and look at it. But it's probably important that we just pay attention because it's something that we're all going to need to do. So as I look at people's designs, there are some very solid designs, and there are some designs that might need to be reworked, and I think you'll understand why afterwards. Byron, Charlotte, Chris, you weren't here yesterday, so that's okay. Ella, Emma, and Sammy, there are no sketches here. I specifically asked you to complete a sketch. If your sketch is not done, you are going to fall behind. Very important. Alright, we'll look at that in a sec, that's okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick Abby's drawing. I'm going to trace her drawing. She's going to be my guinea pig. Alright, so I'll save her picture. Alright, there's Abby's drawing. Pretty cool. Okay? What I might do before I take it into Fusion is this. I want to take a screenshot and I want to get rid of everything that's around the picture. So Shift Command 4 and just take a little screenshot and make sure it's as close to the frame as possible. That's just something just a little tip. Alrighty. Now, I've got my screenshot saved and I'm looking at Fusion. Alrighty, Fusion. We used it a little bit last semester. I'm going to go over some basic steps, and it's important that you try to follow along. So, once we have a sketch, we need to place the sketch into Fusion so that we can trace it. If you look up the top, you've got all these tools, and there's a tool here called Insert. Right? So there's a little picture that looks like a little picture. That's called your canvas. So if you click on that, select, so it says insert from file or insert from computer. So that's how you find, where are we? Desktop. So that's how you find the picture that you the picture file. So once I select the file, I need to click on one of the faces of my three orange squares that represents my three faces. Okay, all good. So I clicked it. I put the picture there. I might twist my cube around so I can see the front. So there's my cube, my view cube. Click the front so I'm looking at it from straight on. If your picture is like off center, so if your picture's, if your picture is over here, that's obviously no good. You can drag your picture with the arrow. Try to get it in the center. The next thing that's helpful is, see, you've got this little corner object here. You've got this little corner that looks like a rounded corner with arrows. It's helpful to make your picture bigger so that you can see it. And I typically make it 5 times bigger. And that's just helpful when it comes to designing things. All right, so I'll do that again really quickly from the beginning. Here is the picture. Click the picture to insert. Insert from my computer. Find your picture. And then you need to click a face to put the picture on. Move the cube around and you can make it bigger or smaller so that it fits better. Okay. Now, I've inserted my logo. I've inserted my design. Looks good, right? It's in the right spot. Now, I need to make this an actual 3D object that I can use, that I can turn into a logo. So, this is how I'm going to do that. I think about what my logo will look like when it's three-dimensional. So it's going to have a circle with a little border, and then on top of the little circle, there will be an embossed phoenix. So we're going to make those in separate goes. Alrighty. So, first thing I need to do is create a sketch. Here's the create sketch. I click on the same face that the sketch is on, and I make a circle and a circle. And then I click finish sketch. Right, I'll do that again. So, create a sketch. Click the face that the logo is on. Notice when you click create a sketch, you get different tools up here. Make a circle, and then a circle. And remember, when you want to finish sketching, when you want to stop sketching and make something three-dimensional, you have to click finish sketch. But you only do that when you're absolutely sure that your sketch is done. Alright, I'll click finish sketch. Now, I've got a border. I want to extrude my border. I click E for extrude. Click the border, and let's make it 10 high. Alright, so I'll do that again. Put my cursor over the border, click E for extrude, and then type 10 on the keyboard. That's to make it 10 high. So when you do it though, you might not want it to be 10. It's totally up to you how high you want it to be. You just have to look at it and select the right size. All right, use your eye, make sure it looks good. Alrighty, and notice up here what happens, okay? Canvases, sketches, I click new body, and now I have bodies. Alright, all good. Now, I have a ring, I have a border. I need to add the inside to my sketch. I can't select the circle I just drew. That's because inside the sketches folder, it thinks I'm done with that first sketch I've done, so it turned the eye off, it hid it. So if I want to go back and select something from an old sketch, I click this folder, turn the eye back on, and there we go. All right, now I press E again, and this time I want there to be a slight offset. So I'm going to make the object inside the circle only 7 millimeters high, and I'm going to make sure it says new body here. Okay, turn my things off. So one of the things you should be getting in the practice of is hiding objects that you don't want to see, realizing that you can find your drawings, your objects inside here. Alrighty. So, I'm going to change the color real quick. I'll tell you how to do this in a sec. So, the logo will have a red border and a dark orange interior because it's about fire. Or maybe I'll make it brighter. And I'll show you how to change color in just a little bit. Okay. Who is lost? Who thinks they know what to do? Who thinks they can do this bit so far? In the chat, I want to hear people say yes, no, maybe, slow down. Is anybody listening? Hello. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, excellent, right? We've got our basic logo border. We've got our basic colors. One thing we need to do, though, is add our detailed embossed phoenix to the front of my logo. So, to do that, I will do this. I'll spin it around, and I've got an odd angle that I'm looking at. I want to go back to the defaults. I want to make it go back to the default view. So if I come up here to the view cube and click the little house, it goes back to default. Now, to put the phoenix on top of this interior circle, I go like this. I click the interior circle and I click create sketch. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Zoom in so you can see what you've done. If you have this turned on your computer, snap to grid, it is much more difficult to make nice, neat, accurate drawings. So it's a good idea to come down here and turn snap to grid off. Okay, now I want to trace the phoenix wings and the interior. So I'm going to find my spline tool. Spline tool. And I don't want to trace everything in one go. If I trace everything in one go, things tend to be messy. Alright, so I'm just tapping on my keyboard. I tap there, tap there, tap there, tap there, and you can kind of get an angle. Tap, tap. Alright. Can you hear my computer starting to, the fan in my computer starting to get heavy? It's because Fusion takes a lot of processing power. So if you have other things open, you should try and close them. Alright, so I've traced one wing. I have intentionally left a mistake in there that I'm going to come back and fix in just a little bit. Spline tool. Use the spline tool to just trace the shape. Right. What's cool about the spline tool is when you tap, 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 those little squares, those little circles are called anchors, and you can actually click on those and edit your line. So if your line is slightly off, you can click on the little line and edit. Alrighty. So there's one wing. I'll trace another wing. I'll try and go much faster now so we catch up. Okay, tapping and dragging. Don't drag your finger across the trackpad or else it won't work. You have to tap, lift your finger up and tap. Alright, tap. Tracing, tracing. Right, there's my second wing, and that wing will work. Now we'll do the phoenix face, I suppose, the phoenix head, as quickly as possible. So if it's messy, that's okay. Very important, everybody, to do this correctly. You zoom in and you make sure you can see your sketch accurately. Okay, make sure you see your drawing. Don't do it at the default view because it'll be much too hard to trace. Okay, almost done. And there. Okay, so I look at my picture and I go, yep, I like my picture. Everything's in the right spot. It looks like what I want it to look like. I'm happy, well, I might edit a few things. Yeah, so once I'm happy with my sketch, I click Finish Sketch. Remember, always click Finish Sketch. Okay, now I can twist my picture around, and if I've done it correctly, I can select the inside of this wing. I can select the inside of this. So notice how they go blue. Although, I can't select this wing. So notice I can click there, and it's highlighted. I can click here, and it's highlighted. But I cannot click on this one. Does anybody Does anybody know why I can't select this one? Yep, because there's a gap here and here. So notice the gap here and here. So here is a common mistake people make when they try and fix this. You can't just click and make another sketch and add a line. Alrighty, so I'll show you what I mean. So I've added a line here, and when I look at it, I go, I don't understand why I can't select that wing. That's because if you pay attention to your sketches, that little line is a sketch just by itself, and the other sketch is a sketch by itself. So if you have a mistake with a sketch, you need to find that sketch, right click, click Edit Sketch, and then fix the mistake by clicking Edit Sketch. If you just add a line on top of the sketch, it won't work. Alrighty, we're almost done. Now I can select one wing. I hold Shift and select the inside, and select the other wing. So I've got my three things selected. I press E for extrude again. I'm gonna make it 4 high. And what I want to do is make sure it says new body, because I want to be able to change colors. Alrighty. I've got a circle, and inside my drawing, I press A to bring up appearance. I've got my colors here. If I wanted to, I could come down and find a metal. So maybe I want it to look like it's made out of gold. I can drag gold on top, and it looks like it's made out of gold. I could make it look like it's made out of old polished brass. Let's make it look like it's made out of brass. Old brass. So I've got all of these materials that I can look at, and just say my logo would look really good made out of metal. I can make it out of metal. Or what I can just do is, if I don't want to mess around with colors and materials, I can just come up the top, right click on a color, duplicate, double tap, and then select my new color. So I'm going to make a black, and I'm going to change the background to black, and then I'm going to put the orange on the logo. And right, I've hidden my canvas by turning the eye on and off next to the canvas so I can see what I've got. I can zoom around and look at my logo. I can go to the render menu to see what it'll look like when it's rendered. Right, and that's the basic idea of how to sketch a logo. Right, is that good? Is that cool? Not cool? Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna stop recording this tutorial. I'm going to upload it to my YouTube page, and then I'll send you a link. Right, it normally takes about 20 minutes to process, so you have to be a little patient. But everybody else right now, it is time to give this a go. So find your sketch, take a screenshot, and see if you can insert it into Fusion. And yeah, we'll just give it a go. If you need help, that's okay. We'll get help, and we'll see how people go with their logos. All right, so everybody can start doing that. And I'll check in a little bit.